My name is Arielle and welcome back to my channel. Today, me and Sam are in Sun Valley, Idaho. We're actually here for a trip with Visit Sun Valley Tourism, and we have like a super action-packed couple of days filled with like horseback riding and biking and hiking and yoga and all sorts of cool stuff. So right now, as you can hear in my voice that is winded, we're out on a little hike. We left early this morning because it's been pretty hot. So just trying to beat the heat and get our uphill miles in at least before it gets too hot. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to hiking. So excited to bring you all along for all of the adventure. Let's go. Hopefully this isn't like too shaky or too loud or anything like that. I'm actually filming on my phone, which I never do, but I'm realizing that I have been not very good at vlogging today. I just haven't taken my camera out as much. It's been a really fun day though, just absolutely beautiful. We did a little putt-putt golf at first in the morning, and then we went and shot like targets where they like launch off the, I think they're called clay pigeons, but the little like orange discs. And truthfully, I thought I was gonna be really bad at that. I was really bad at putt-putt. Definitely got DFL. Dead effing last. But I thought I was gonna be really bad at the target shooting, and I actually, once I found my groove, was okay at it and thought it was so much more fun than expected. So that was fun, and now we're doing a little fly fishing, which I've never done any fly fishing on a river. I've like played around casting a rod on a little stocked pond once, like 6 years ago, but it's been so fun already. I caught 2 fish, a teeny tiny little cute guy that was like this big. Oh, all right,
see, you can just lift the rod back.
I mean, you have to take a photo. I got a little bitty fish.
All right, that is the biggest fish of the day so far.
And then maybe like a 7 or 8 foot rainbow trout? I don't know. You can tell I don't really know much about fishing. But it's been such a fun day. I mean, mostly today is, besides the putt-putt, doing things I've never really done, and it's just such a great experience to try new things. So anyways, I'm gonna walk back over to the group and see if I can get a couple more tries at casting the line, maybe catch another fish, and call it good. It's late. I mean, it's like 8:30 at night right now, which is crazy. It looks like I don't know, like it could be like 6 in the afternoon.
Okay, so this is so crazy, but literally everything that you just watched happened in 3 days. Just 3 days. Isn't that nuts? And I didn't even show you everything. I didn't show you all of like the amazing meals we had. There's a couple activities that I ended up leaving out. And like, of course, I didn't feel like it'd be very interesting for you to watch, but there was all of the really late nights that we were up, you know, editing, compiling all the content, getting everything like organized and ready for the client. So we were going to bed super late every night, waking up super early, but then doing really fun stuff all day. And yeah, I was very tired when I got home, but I had so much fun on this trip. And it was really cool to get to do stuff that I've never done before. Like I've never been fly fishing before, like on the river. I've never like shot targets before. And it's probably been 20 years since I've ridden a horse. Like, it's crazy. And then, of course, you know, I'm always going to be really excited to get the chance to go biking or hiking in a new area. I just, like, love to explore, and, like, to explore in those ways is really fun to me. But, yeah, super fun trip. And before I finish out the vlog, I just wanted to take a couple moments to answer some of your questions that came in as I was sharing the experience over on Instagram. So I'm just going to whip out my phone and just answer a couple questions. Okay, so there are actually quite a few of you who wanted to know where we stayed and if we had any recommendation for hikes or anything like that. And I've actually been to Sun Valley 3 times now. I've gone twice with Visit Sun Valley, which has been awesome. Both of those have been in the summertime. And then I actually went in college for a snowboarding competition. And so I've been both seasons. And I've done a mix of like Airbnb and hotel, and they're all great options. I feel like it just depends on what you are, you know, like what you want to do on the trip or like what your values are. Because last time I was in Sun Valley, we stayed at the Limelight Hotel, which is right in town. And it was so great because I could walk everywhere, and it was a really awesome way to like have easy access to the restaurants and like coffee shops and, you know, all of that stuff. But then this time we stayed at an Airbnb, and then we have a kitchen, you know, and a fridge and just a little bit more space. And so they're both great for different reasons. And there are a lot of options for both. You know, there are a lot of hotels in the area, and there are also a lot of different Airbnb options. And personally, I prefer if I can have a kitchen of some kind. It's one of the reasons why we love traveling in the van, because it comes with us everywhere. Because I like to have a mix of eating food, like making my own food and eating food out. I really love to like try the restaurants in town and really experience like the culture of wherever I'm traveling. But I find that I save a ton of money if I make some of my meals at home, and it's a little bit easier to stay more consistent with eating healthy. So my personal preference is to have a spot where I have a kitchen and then have a good mix where I can like try a breakfast spot in town, but then maybe make some of my other breakfasts at home, try a lunch spot, but then maybe make some of my other lunches at home. And then generally it's fun to have dinner out at least more than once. But yeah, it really just depends on your budget for the trip and just, you know, what your priorities are. Because I know that there are some of you out there who like eating and trying the restaurants in town is like a huge part of why you travel. And so if that's you, then the hotel option might be better because you're right there in the action and you don't need a vehicle or to deal with Ubers or anything like that. Where we were staying this time, we definitely needed a vehicle. So I think it just depends, but I've liked both options and I think that they're both really great. When it comes to hiking trails I recommend, I've only hiked a few just because that's all I've had the chance to. So if you're a Sun Valley local and you have, or you visited there a bunch and there's some hiking trails you really love and you're open to sharing the adventure with other people, definitely write that down below in the comments because I don't have a ton to recommend just because I haven't got a chance to try them. This trip we did Baker Lake, which was beautiful, very easily accessed. And just a really, really, really pretty hike. And I've done a couple of hikes like more around the resort area, and actually like off of the resort itself was another hike that we did over to this like really beautiful lookout, and that seemed to be really, really popular. The trail was pretty busy, but the overlook was stunning. And as far as I know, you can actually like keep hiking and go pretty much all the way up. We didn't have time to on this trip because our itinerary was so packed, so we just went to the overlook, but even that was absolutely stunning. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many different hiking and biking trails in the area. So unfortunately, I feel like this is like kind of a sad answer to that question because I just don't have that much experience since I've only done maybe, 3 hikes total ever in the area. But again, if you have any recommendations, definitely put them down below because I know I would love to see them. I know that I will for sure be back, and I'm sure anyone watching would be super grateful. So if you have them, thank you. There was also a few questions about the horseback riding. Now, because I was on a work trip with an itinerary, I didn't actually book any of the activities that we were out doing. So I don't have the background on that side, but I'd imagine it's pretty easy. We went through the Sun Valley stables, and I imagine you just pop on their website or give them a call and they can talk you through the logistics. Our personal horseback riding adventure was about an hour, and we went straight out from the stables, up Dollar Mountain, and there was some really beautiful views. We got to cross a creek, and then we came back from there. But if you're a more experienced rider, I'm sure that they have some other longer adventures. Yeah, because ours was definitely a short ride, but I feel like because we were so inexperienced, it was exactly what we needed. And I'm sure that they have so many more options. So if that's something that interests you, the stables were beautiful and there were so many great horses there. And I feel completely unqualified to say anything more than I would give them a call and just see what they have, especially because I just don't know your skill level or what you're thinking of. But I really highly recommend it. It was definitely a highlight of my trip, something that I've been wanting to do again for a really long time. So lastly, I just wanted to cover the question about dog-friendly adventures or activities and hikes and things like that. And I think any mountain town, there are a ton of dog-friendly options, but definitely what I would do if I were you would be to just do a little extra research on the hikes, because I'd find that most of the hikes that we went on were definitely dog friendly, or that I've been on. Again, it's not a ton. I've only been on a couple. But there were 1 or 2 that were leash only. So it's just something that you got to check in when you get there. But there are a ton of options if you're thinking of traveling with your dog, tons of hiking trails. And I even think that the place where we went mountain biking, that you can have your dog out there as well. So there is a ton of dog friendly things. I feel like pretty much any mountain town you visit, there are going to be great dog friendly options, but it does require a little bit more attention to detail, because there are the few trails that don't allow dogs, and I would say more often than not dogs are allowed, but there's some rule around them needing to be on a leash. So I hope that answers your question. Answering your questions, I'm realizing that I think I just need to go back and try some more hikes and try some more adventures, so I have even more things to recommend to you. So I think Sun Valley is not something that's crossed off the list, but instead something that is on the list again, so I can go back and try some new things, because I feel like it was just the tip of the iceberg. Even with those 3 action-packed days, it was just the tip of the iceberg. So thank you so much for joining me for this adventure this week. And yeah, there's so many fun things coming up this summer. So if you want to stay in the loop, definitely hit that subscribe button to come along with me for the adventure. And as always, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. Thank you for being here. See you next week.